It's only right that we look at England. Let's look at why it hasn't come home and will it ever come home? And the 2026 World Cup, will it come home this year, next year? My issue is we haven't had the manager who's been able to gel these English players together. And that problem has stemmed from the golden generation, in my opinion.
I do agree somewhat, but are you saying that Gareth Southgate wasn't able to gel the players? I know you know he was, to be honest.
I don't think he was.
Oh, you don't?
No, because it's evident. How many times did we watch the Euros or how many times did we watch the World Cup and England seemed lackluster? We asked ourselves, how did they even get to the final in the first place? How did they even get themselves into the semi-final in the first place? Based off the performance we were witnessing. They were very lucky with the teams they even came across. I think for the
World Cup 2018, isn't it?
You get me? They were very lucky with the
lucky
teams that they came across. They haven't really had that spectacular performance as a team. If you're going to put so many stars into a starting 11 and there's egos as well, like Cole Palmer is a star player for Chelsea, Bukayo Saka is a star player for Arsenal, Harry Kane is a star player for Bayern Munich. If it's a situation where it's like, okay, things are not going the way the manager envisioned it, I want to take the ball and make something happen. There's too many of those players that have that kind of mentality, and that will then bring confusion on the pitch, which I feel like I've seen too many times. What I'm worried about, if there's no identity with the way the team is playing. Like when I think about Italy, I know what they're known for. Defensive play, get you on the counter-attack. When I see Spain, I know what they're known for. Possession-based
So essentially, are you saying that England need to find their identity and there needs to be a manager that comes in and stamps maybe his identity
Yes.
and leaves a long-lasting mark on England?
Exactly. Begging for a goal. We're itching for a goal. Where is he? Where is Harry
Can't lie to
Kane?
you, that is true.
Yes. Welcome back to the BOF pod. It's your boy AJ and your boy Brian, back again with the top tier ball knowledge. And Brian, we've been here so many times, but I think we've got to remind them, why are we here?
Because of football.
Because of football. And it's our favourite part of the season today.
Favourite
part.
Favourite.
International football. And it's only right that we kick it off with the national team and talk about England. It's only right that we look at England. Let's look at why it hasn't come home and will it ever come home? And the 2026 World Cup, will it come home this year, next year?
Oh, fingers crossed, hopefully. I mean, it's been a long time. It's been what? So you guys can do the maths. They can do the maths, but it's been a long time since something has come home. Obviously, so close in 2021, obviously due to COVID. I think we're getting closer. We saw it. 2021 got to the finals. I think in the World Cup 2022 quarterfinals, I think we should have gone through, to be honest. That French team, I don't think they were that good. I think if England actually had won that game, Argentina in the final, I think England would have won. That's my opinion. I think England would have beat that team. That Argentina team, in my opinion, not that good. So, but I don't know if anyone else thinks that. But guys, obviously let us know below. But yeah, in my opinion, but what do you think?
I think that's a serious question. Whether or not England could have made an impact. And we know England for not really having the mentality to really get over their line. And that leads me to my first question. Why haven't England been able to bring it home? What's stopping them? Is it a mentality issue? Is it the wrong team selection? Is it the managers? Is it the crop of players? What's stopping the progress? What's stopping us from lifting the trophy?
So I'm going to go back to as far as I can remember. So I'm going to say I'd say the early 2000s throughout to the late 2000s, the golden generation of England. I feel like we hear it a lot from mainstream media where there's a divide between the North and the South. Yeah. So obviously like the clubs the players were playing for. And we could say there was a bit of hostility in the camp every time they'll go they'll get a call up. And from what I've seen, obviously filtered into training, into eating, into the canteen, where players would, I guess, get into their cliques. And I think that's changed. So I think if you look back to previous interviews of like Steven Gerrard, I think there was even a point where he said he didn't want to, I think, speak to Rio Ferdinand or want to get close to Rio Ferdinand, had issues with Lampard. And obviously back in those days, there was a rivalry between Arsenal and Man United. Very prevalent in the 2000s, Liverpool, United, and obviously Chelsea versus everyone. So I think that had a big impact on the mentality and the cohesion of the squad.
So you think that mentality carried on to the future generations? Is that what you're...
So what I'm
getting
saying is I think that was back then. I think now things are improving. There's a big difference from before. And I think obviously due to Gareth Southgate coming in, I guess, steadying the ship, looking at a lot of youth players and bringing them up, because I think a lot of the youth players that were part of I'd say the previous crop of players, because I think the team is a bit different now to when he first came. They were familiar with each other. So they played with each other during the under-21s, under-18s and 19s. And they built that type of chemistry with each other and were familiar. So there was a lack of... Essentially, it was built on relationships rather than before, where they weren't familiar with each other. They saw each other in the Premier League in these fixtures, heated matches. Whereas now, and as well as back then, players, they had relationships off the field. And obviously, I feel like that translated onto the field as well. So I think that's why things are improving, but why things haven't been won yet, I think it's just a matter of patience. Because I feel like there's a parallel between Arteta and Gareth Southgate, obviously a bit relevant too, but there's a parallel where they've made a change. People wanted Southgate out because he wasn't winning. But, I mean, are we happy with the change he's made? Should he have stayed long enough?
That's an interesting
There's a parallel.
I see where you're going with that, but I think that's very interesting. But my perspective on it is more of, I do get your, okay, let's be patient. We've been to a semi-final, we've been to a final, but there comes a point where you need to get over the line. And quite similar to the golden era that they like to call the golden generation, when they had the Wayne Rooneys, the Michael Owens, the Gerrard, the Scholes, the David Beckham, the Lampards. I feel like the crop of players that we have now are quite similar in terms of quality. You look at that,
I disagree, but I'll let you land
in
anyway.
terms of, I'm not going pound for player, but the quality that we have in the England side, there's always a debate. Who's going to start in the attacking lineup? Who's going to play the 10? Is it going to be a Bellingham? Is it going to be a Cole Palmer? Is it going to be a Phil Foden? We now have Morgan Rogers in there. I've just mentioned 4 quality players. Do you disagree with these players being quality?
No, I think they're all top quality players. And you haven't even said Adam Wharton. So that says a lot.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the 10 position.
Oh, just the 10 position, yeah.
Exactly, just the 10 position.
Wow.
And then we've got the wingers. You've got left wing, Anthony Gordon, Rashford, Jack Grealish slowly getting back to his best. On the right, you've got Phil Foden who can operate there, Bukayo Saka, and then Madueke who's come to life. There's top quality players there. And then up front, you've got Harry Kane, Ivan Toney might be able to put in a shift, Watkins. I'm sure I'm missing out on players who play up front. Who else plays up front? That's
off the top of my head, those are the ones I can think of, but there's obviously more. Yeah,
there's probably more. And obviously, I've probably in the right back position, you've got Reece James and Trent battling out, and we've got Skelly.
Ben White as well, if he obviously gets a chance to come back in the team.
So I think the only issue is probably centre back, where you feel like there's not really enough quality, but we probably do have our solid foundation in an Eric Esri Konsa, and Mark Gahey,
Jared Brantwaite as well.
Yeah, Livramento left back, right back. We have quality all around throughout the 11, which I don't think we've seen since the golden generation. My issue is we haven't had the manager who's been able to gel these English players together. And that problem has stemmed from the golden generation, in my opinion.
I do agree somewhat, but are you saying that Gareth Southgate wasn't able to gel the players? I know he was, to be honest.
I don't think he was.
Oh, you don't?
No, because it's evident. How many times did we watch the Euros, or how many times did we watch the World Cup, and England seemed lackluster? We asked ourselves, how did they even get to the final in the first place? How did they even get themselves into the semi-final in the first place, based off the performance we were witnessing? They were very lucky with the teams they even came across. I think for the
World Cup 2018, isn't it?
You get me? They were very lucky with the
lucky
teams that they came across. They haven't really had that spectacular performance as a team where you feel, oh wow, they're gelling. Like, it's smooth. It's like the Spain national team or the French national team. There's so many stars, but it's like we're trying to incorporate all the star quality players into one field just to make everyone happy, and it doesn't work.
Just to go back to your point, I think you said something about drawing lucky teams. 2021 they drew Germany
Mm.
in the quarterfinals.
Germany weren't that great back then as well.
It's still Germany though, isn't it? Still the legendary Germany, you know, beat them 2-0. Obviously home advantage, but
If I called out the
You
lineup
know.
for that Germany team,
remember the sitter Muller missed as well at 0-0.
yeah,
Yeah, mad. But they had Germany. I think the semi-finals. Who did they draw? If you remember.
after Germany,
Yeah.
it wasn't France, was it? No,
Nah, was it Denmark?
can't remember who it was.
Where some Damsgaard scored that free kick.
Damsgaard is
He's-
from Danish. So
yeah, and he
I
scored
should
that
probably-
free
yeah,
kick.
Yeah.
That might have been the semi-finals. I don't know, but I wouldn't say it was a lucky draw in the Euros, in my opinion. But you know,
I just feel like the performance was lackluster, and I just don't feel like, for me watching that England side, from the talent that's there, they can get a lot out of that team, and it's not something that I want to put like the players don't have the mentality, because some of the players in that national team are World Cup, are Champions League winners, Premier League winners. They obviously have the mentality. They obviously have the quality. The only thing that gets me to question everything is the manager. Have we had the right manager to get them over the line?
2 questions. First question: when you say lackluster, how would you define a lackluster performance? Just because the team was still able to, I'd say, progress quite well and quite deep into tournaments. So does the performance matter or the result?
It depends. Of course, fans are going to be happy regardless. If we are able to lift up a trophy, we're going to be happy. Same way with Arsenal. If we end up coming 5th in the Premier League and we win the Champions League, are the Arsenal fans not going to be happy?
I think we would be happy, yeah.
Exactly. And if we played bad football and we still won the Champions League, will we still be happy?
Of course.
But then
Well, we're playing bad football now, but that's a conversation for later.
At the end of the day, it is about winning things. It is about getting the 3 points. It is about winning the trophies. But how you do it does matter. Imagine being a Spain side and winning the World Cup like they did. What year was it? 2010?
2010, yeah.
And the football they played. That's a joy to watch. You don't want to go to a football game and just see Bellingham passing backwards or Declan Rice passing backwards, and there's no cohesiveness with the team, and it seems like there's no rhythm, there's no system. I get it, you're playing a formation, but how are we creating the chances? It seems like there's a lot of individual impacts which is getting England over the line, which goes back to my quality question. Like, there is quality in the team. We can see that. Saka, Harry Kane, these are world-class players. Cole Palmer, world-class players. So they don't necessarily need the correct system in order to make something happen. But then if you're going to put so many stars into a starting 11 and there's egos as well, like Cole Palmer is a star player for Chelsea, Bukayo Saka is a star player for Arsenal, Harry Kane is a star player for Bayern Munich. If it's a situation where it's like, okay, things are not going the way the manager envisioned it, I want to take the ball and make something happen. There's too many of those players that have that kind of mentality, and that would then bring confusion on the pitch, which I feel like I've seen too many times.
I've got a question for you, so then would you say that there's a risk of the England camp regressing and going back into the days of division? Due to what you're saying, so in terms of the
I think 'cause
individuality.
football has changed in general. I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
But football has changed in general, where football players don't have that kind of mentality. You see, after a football game, Declan Rice will go and shake hands with Maddison and give him a hug. That's fine. Football is become that way. You wouldn't see it back in the days where after a game you see Rooney and let's say
Gerrard or something.
Gerrard hugging after a game and talking to each other and smiling and joking after one team has lost. You'll never see that. That football has changed in that perspective. So I'm not worried about that part. What I'm worried about, if there's no identity with the way the team is playing. Like, when I think about Italy, I know what they're known for. Defensive play, get you on the counter-attack. When I see Spain, I know what they're known for. Possession-based
So
team.
essentially, are you saying that England need to find their identity and there needs to be a manager that comes in and stamps maybe his identity
Yes.
and leaves a long-lasting mark on England?
Exactly. So there needs to be an imprint. There needs to be a philosophy. And the only manager which we've given them that time to do that is Southgate. And I feel like we gave him more than enough time to think he's not the guy to get us over the line. You see? So this draws me up to my next question. What do you think of the current England manager? Is the current England manager the man to take us over the line? Is he going to be the man that helps us win the 2026 World Cup? Has he got his current selection right? Have you seen the call
I've
up?
seen the squad, and I feel like we have to take it with a pinch of salt. So I know Bukayo Saka, I don't think he's in the squad.
No, he's in the squad.
Is he in the
He's
squad?
in the squad. Let me check out.
Because I feel like I saw something saying he wasn't in the squad.
No,
There's
so
someone not in the squad.
Bellingham's not in the squad.
Must be Bellingham. But obviously he's
Bellingham's-
injured, isn't it? So he's not back.
No, Bellingham he's playing football. So he basically got scrutiny. So there's been speculations that him and Tuchel have issues. So
That goes back to the interview when I think he said he spoke to his mum, or his mum, Tuchel's mum said something, and then
apparently there's some sort of issue between Bellingham's camp, which I don't think there is, but I genuinely think is that he hasn't played enough football and he hasn't taken him on board, which is fine. But let me call up the lineup. So in goal we have Henderson, Pickford, Trafford, Dan Burn, Mark Gahey, Reece James, Ezri Konsa, Lewis Skelly, Jarrell Quansah, Jed Spence, John Stones, Elliot Anderson, Morgan Gibson-White, Jordan Henderson, Ruben Loftus-Cheek, Declan Rice, and Morgan Rogers. Then we've got Bowen, Eze, Gordon, Kane, Rashford, Saka, and Watkins.
So Bellingham, obviously, because I remember seeing Bellingham being out for a long time, but obviously, so when I saw this squad initially, I thought, okay, Bellingham, so he hasn't been picked, basically, essentially.
He hasn't been picked, so it's nothing to do with his injury because he's been back. He's played.
Has he played 4 minutes? Because I know he had the shoulder thing.
Yeah, he's played not 4 minutes. So the speculation is a player like Rashford, who's just recently come back, maybe you want to get him in, get some minutes with England, just because we expect him to be part of your plans as a vital player for the national team. But you know how the press is. They just basically wanted to get me cause a ruckus between Tuchel and Bellingham, which I don't think is the case. But yeah, based on that current lineup, what do you think his thinking is with the lineup?
Not to stay on Bellingham too long, but I can see the fact that he's got Loftus-Cheek in there. Obviously, he's probably played very well with AC Milan, had a good start to the season, but you can just tell that is almost like it's a message to Bellingham, especially if Loftus-Cheek plays well, because he's familiar with being in the squad, being at camp, was obviously an important part of the squad back in 2018. So that could be, and obviously he coached him as well at Chelsea. That's another thing as well we forget. So Loftus-Cheek and Tuchel, they know each other.
You think there's favoritism there? You think there's favoritism with managers when it comes to stuff like this?
100%. I mean, some people would say that Henderson was a favourite of Southgate. In my opinion, I think for Henderson specifically, not necessarily a favourite, but I think for continuity and for consistency, almost like club football, you want to keep the same guys around in the camp. So that was important for Henderson specifically. But it's always easy as a coach, to have someone, like a trusted person as part of your camp.
In and around the squad.
Exactly.
So if that player like Henderson affects a player like Adam Wharton from jumping on the plane, how would you see things?
That's a very good question. Adam Wharton, you know how I feel about Adam Wharton.
Yeah.
I think he is, by the end of his career, there might be an argument that he's one of the best English players of all time.
Wow.
That's what that is my claim. However,
that's a major statement.
It is.
He's gone again. He started again.
No, guys, honestly, I'm being so serious. I do think that Adam Wharton can be, if he makes the right moves. Now, I think he's from up north.
Birmingham.
No, I think a bit further. I think Blackburn.
Blackburn, that's it.
I think that he's destined to go back to that area, so Manchester or maybe United or Liverpool.
I see a Real Madrid player.
Or City.
I see a Real Madrid player in him.
I think he could. I think he's that level.
I think he easily could. Because I think Real Madrid were knocking him for Zubimendi, but we ended up getting him.
Yeah.
They could definitely go for Adam Wharton.
Do you know what? I would love to see that.
And I can see that.
I would love to see that.
Because I don't think they've replaced Toni Kroos in that position.
They haven't, no.
They haven't. To replace a player like that, the only person I can think of that's young, that's got the ability to do so, that has the potential to be world class, is Adam Wharton.
And they played Brighton on the weekend. Was it Brighton?
Who played Brighton on the weekend?
Palace.
Palace, yeah.
What I saw, you saw it as well because you sent it to me.
Yeah. He's a joke, man.
I can't even.
He's an absolute joke.
Wow.
He wasn't even running, like.
Wasn't running.
Just oozes class at the age of 21.
And it was easy. Everything was easy. The passes, receiving the ball, moving it on. Didn't even think about it.
Who does he remind you of?
I don't know. I have to think about that, actually. I've never really thought about who Wharton would remind me of, but I don't know. Who do you think? You're going to say something crazy, isn't it?
I don't see it as crazy, but he reminds me of Xhaka sometimes. Just the way he passes the ball and how relaxed he is when he passes the ball. That the attacking and the passing of his game, that's the only thing that reminds me of him. In terms of like his physicality, that's the question mark around him. But the way he can, because I think Xhaka, we said it before, he's very underrated in terms of his passing selection. There's not many deep lying playmakers like him in the game today. I can't think of any. Like Toni Kroos has retired, Modric is coming to the end. Someone that can control, a true controller, Joshua Kimmich, those type of players. Like I believe that he's getting to that level. The way he just oozes that class, where he's so composed in every third of the pitch, he can deliver that pass, and the way he delivers it, it's just like, I know he's going to get
with
to my
ease.
man.
It's just, it's just so...
Just classy.
It does it without even trying almost, Literally. I think I would say he reminds me of not anyone specific, but it would have to be a Spanish player.
You think so?
I don't know yet, but a Spanish player in terms of the way he can receive the ball and just move, passing. A Spanish player, I think he plays like he's Spanish. That's what I do like to say about Adam Wharton.
So, getting to my next question.
Yeah, sorry, go on.
Who do we think will jump on that plane in 2026? Like, we've mentioned Adam Wharton, and we mentioned how potentially bringing Henderson could lead to Adam Wharton coming up. I don't know if we answered it, but if you could answer it quickly for me, and then we can lead on to the next question.
That's a very hard question. That's why I haven't answered it. I think, do you risk losing out on the experience, the know-how, the leadership for someone like Adam Wharton?
For Henderson?
Yeah.
I think that is
Or could it be someone else? Could it be someone else that maybe misses out? Maybe a Gibbs White and Anderson, who's been exceptional. Anderson's been so good this season so far. Who misses out? In fact, actually, that's your question. Who gets on the plane?
And that's my point here. Henderson, I feel like there's a lot of players with experience that have been to the final, that know how to handle finals, that know how to handle semi-finals, that we don't need Henderson in the squad. If it affects a player like Adam Wharton, or if it affects a player like Jude Bellingham, I just don't think it's worth the risk. I just don't think Henderson offers anything on the pitch. I feel like there's a lot of players that offer what Henderson offers off the pitch and can deliver on the pitch. So that's my issue. We've got Harry Maguire. How many competitions has he been to? Yeah, you can question his ability, this, that, and third, but we know he's a top professional. Declan Rice, we know he's a top professional. John Stones, top professional. There's so many players in that team that are top professionals that have been there.
Not to cut you off, but you said top professional, which is very key.
Yeah.
Did you see what I think Tuchel said about Lewis Skelly, and obviously being a professional, being sort of like a nice guy in and around the camp? He said it's not enough. If you're not playing club football, you might not be on the plane.
What is that? That's a contradiction. It's a contradiction if he brings Henderson. Okay, I'll be honest. I'm not here watching Henderson week in and week out, but I know there's a lot of quality that I'm seeing, that I'm watching actively, that can do what Henderson does on the pitch for us, and then can offer what Henderson offers off the pitch. So he's not needed for me. And if you're going to make that statement against Skelly, I know, is Henderson even playing? Where's he playing now?
That's the thing. So he's at Brentford, and he's playing and he's starting. And actually, from obviously like watching Match of the Day and seeing and just seeing how he's done, he's actually had a good start. And I know his last game, I forgot who Brentford faced, they won their last game. He put in a man of the match type performance, basically. So he's had a good start to this season, and he's playing week in and week out. So is Adam Wharton.
So if Harry Kane wasn't playing week in, week out, would Tuchel take him?
The options in terms of quality are scarce. You can't really compare, let's say, Ivan Toney, Ollie Watkins, for example. I'm sure there's obviously more number 9s to Harry Kane.
Yeah.
Harry Kane is he might be arguably by the end of his career the best striker England have ever had.
No.
Arguably, not saying is it better than Rooney, but it's an argument to be had. So
I understand your point. I do, but if you're gonna keep that for Kane, you got to do that for everyone else. You can't have favoritism in the camp, because if you have favoritism in the camp, what happens? That causes divide.
He's the captain as well.
I know he's exactly. So it should go for everyone. If Saka is not playing in, week out, we know how important Saka is, not just for Arsenal and England, but let's just say Madueke he's come back from injury and he's just basically he's made that position his, and we're seeing Saka on the bench. He's got a decision to make, and we expect him to make a fair decision. And I feel like that should go all around, because when we talk about Harry Kane, again, world class player, probably again arguably the best English striker all round, period. But when it comes to that final or that semi-final, when we're just begging for a goal, we're itching for a goal, where is he? Where is Harry
Can't lie to
Kane?
you, that is true. He's gone missing. He's gone missing in a
Because
few
I remember
big games.
I remember the last competition. What was it? The Euros or the Euros?
World Cup, where he missed the penalty. Skied it.
He was nowhere to be found. And even the last competition that we had, who was the one that delivered for us? Ollie Watkins and Cole Palmer.
Yeah.
Where was Kane? How was Kane
He was
during
actually
that competition?
quiet. He was
quiet.
Did he score?
He didn't score. And there is this thing about Harry Kane, and a few Tottenham fans that I know have said this, especially when it came to the Champions League final against Liverpool.
Sorry, they might be salty though. These Tottenham fans might feel away because he's left.
But I'm trying to think of where it matters most.
AJ, please remember that. Please remember that. How many finals did Spurs go to with him? Maybe one, maybe two. So
did he deliver?
Didn't deliver though.
That's okay.
That's your point to me.
and then Bayern Munich, who has he really come against? I mean, when you got Germany, that's Bayern Munich's league, innit? So they run that league. They've got too much quality that they'll always win the league unless something special happens that we saw.
Like last year.
Yeah, a couple of years ago with Xabi Alonso's team.
The year before,
or a Dortmund team. But yeah, Harry Kane, I think there should be question marks around him regarding international football.
Wow.
Yes, I've said it.
Wow.
It should be, because when it matters, he doesn't really deliver. He goes a bit quiet when we need that goal.
Wow. Harry Kane.
It's true though.
Okay, you're going to be ruffling a couple feathers, you know that.
Don't you agree with me though? When it matters most, when have we realised Kane to get us that goal that gets us level with Spain or get us level with France?
But the tactics previously have been different, where he drops deep to collect the ball and kind of do a lot of things. And obviously the wingers have to come inside and obviously,
So that's
add to the attack.
There you go to what I said originally about the system. If you've got a system where Harry Kane's your captain and he's your leader and he comes deep to receive the ball, then you need to make a system where you have inside forwards that are entering the box. But we didn't see that. We saw a lot of confusion. We get Harry Kane coming in to receive the ball from the centre backs. No one's in the box. Saka gets the ball, crosses the ball to no one, or has a box crasher like Bellingham trying to get in the final ball. There's a lot of confusion going on. There's a lot of work to be done with this England national team.
Is there enough time though? World Cup, scariest thing is the World Cup is in, what's the time of recording? Maybe 7 months, I believe, 8 months. Is that enough time?
It is enough time because of the quality of the manager. But again, is this manager able to translate his philosophies or ideas as a club manager into international football? Because it's two different territories. Can he do it?
The thing is, I feel like his ideas aren't, which is not bad, by the way, because we've seen Carlo Ancelotti adapt. Tuchel was adaptable. He will change his tactics based on what he has around him. So obviously, prior to being at at Chelsea, I think he played a 4-2-3-1, 4-4-2-ish type of 4-2-4, where he was spoilt for choice in the attack. I think he had Messi, he had Mbappe, he had a number of players at a point, I believe. I think so, yeah. So he's happy to adapt and change his philosophy. He doesn't have like one set philosophy. Obviously at Dortmund, I think he played a 4-2-3-1 as well. So again, another different tactic. I just feel like, me personally, I hate with a passion back three, back fives. I just can't stand them. I just don't think it works.
Agree. I feel like you have to be a certain manager to make it work. But
you have to be Conte to make it work, I think.
Again, I agree with you. I don't like it. I've never liked it, and I won't stand for it. Yeah.
And funnily enough, even Conte doesn't even use a back five or back three anymore. So I think football's probably moved past that. Eventually, football goes in full circles, but I think the time for a back five, back three's done. Look at Ruben Amorim, not to go off topic, but it doesn't work, in my opinion, obviously.
Okay, so looking at Tuchel and what he's done so far, we've seen that he's played a 4-3-3, a 4-2-3-1. We've seen Skelly come inside. We've seen Lewis Hall come inside as inverted fullbacks. We've seen overlapping fullbacks in Tino Livramento. We've seen it. But let's address the question. Who do we think he's going to bring on that plane? Who do we think? So let's start from the goalkeepers.
I think Pickford is a mainstay. Pickford is he's gonna start. In fact, I think Dean Henderson obviously has played very well from last season and this season. I've never really been convinced of Dean Henderson solely based on, I'd say, not even Palace. I think just from, I remember watching, I think it was the under 20 Euros in 2019. I remember the under 20s team. I think they got knocked out in the group stage, and every single game I watched, he made a mistake. And then since then, I kind of watched his progress, and I was never really blown away by how he played and his ability. I think now he's improved, he's matured. I think he's 28 years old now.
Yeah.
So for a goalie, good age to mature and to hit your prime. But I don't think it's a discussion. Pickford will start. Dean Henderson will obviously be number 2, and obviously Trafford will be probably number 3.
So no Ramsdale.
I can't see Nah.
Yeah.
He's not playing either. So Ramsdale can't be.
I thought he would even, as soon as he got the move to Newcastle, I thought he'll be their number 1. But it seems like Eddie Howe doesn't even trust him either. Yeah, it seems like he's a bit overrated.
I'm going to change that. I did say Trafford as number 3. I think Nick Pope, which I don't know if he's going to be happy about that, because he might think that he should be ahead of...
Does he make the play, Nick Pope?
It's between him and Trafford. But I think it's going to be Nick Pope, because Trafford obviously got signed by City, was starting a few games, looked a bit shaky, straight to the bench after Donnarumma came in. So I think those 3, set in stone, it won't change.
Okay, so out of those goalkeepers you've mentioned, who would you pick to start, and would you follow Tuchel and his decision potentially?
It has to be Pickford. Like, I'm not like Pickford's biggest fan anyway, in terms of people talk about how he can play out from the back apparently. No, he literally just
punts the ball,
boots the ball like it's a rugby game. I'm sorry, it's a fact, and people don't say this. He hasn't got the ability. Like, you can't compare him to someone like Edison or even David Raya. He can't play out from the back. He just punts the ball. That's what he does. But he's the best.
So it could be a situation where if Tuchel wants basically a goalkeeper, or there's a game state where he believes that the best way to beat the team is to play out from the back and invite the pressure on, you start someone like Trafford. Could he be thinking that way, or you think he's, no matter what, Pickford always?
Trafford, I don't want to go to... Trafford is not that guy. Trafford is not that guy, I'm sorry. Like, I think his ball playing out from the back is okay. And we see them at City, it's not bad. Burnley's a different ball game. He was in the Championship. And even just I feel like he lacks confidence when he steps up into the bigger leagues and even the bigger situations, and we saw it. That is why City bought another goalkeeper. They bought
Okay.
Donnarumma. Trafford isn't. I don't think he's young, but I don't think he's ready to make that step up to even start. He shouldn't even be starting a game for England.
Okay.
And getting a call up. Again, you still got Nick Pope there as well.
He's got work to do.
Yeah.
Okay. And the back four.
So all the defenders, or just you want the lineup?
Let's do the lineup because I think that'll make sense. Let's do the lineup. Let's look at the lineup. Who we think Tuchel will bring on and who we would want to bring on. So looking at the lineup, right back, centre back, right centre back, left centre back, and then
we'll do a back
left
four.
back. Yeah, because he has been playing a back four as of recent. What do you think?
I think right back. What I would do? You're asking. What I would do? It's really hard. I like Trent. So I'll probably put Trent right back, or I'll go for Trent. I like Trent at right back.
So with right back, we're basically looking at Trent over Reece James, over Ben White, over Livramento, over Trippier, and you're happy with that despite his defensive limitations.
He can be protected. We'll have someone there to protect him in the midfield.
Okay.
With maturity, I think someone like Declan Rice, when England have the ball, maybe move back. Bellingham's in the squad. Bellingham will be at 10. I know obviously you have your reservations about playing Bellingham and Rice together, but I think it can work. But it just means that you lose some of the ability Rice has going forward. But Rice, I think, comfortably can defend, and he has that knowledge and the composure to...
Is it worth it, though? Is it worth taking away Declan Rice's attacking abilities to complement Trent when you can get someone like Reece James who's defensively sound and can do what Trent does, but obviously not at the same level, of course.
How fit's Reece James going to be this season? That's the question. Obviously,
that's the question.
He's been fit so far, but
if he's fit, does he start?
He's on the plane. I wouldn't start him.
Just because of your personal preference?
Yeah, I'd probably... That's a good question, actually. I would start Reece James, actually, but I'm going off the fact that I think he might not be fit throughout the season, based on, obviously, history. But Livramento, I think he's been playing very well for the last 2 years. So there's an argument for him to start. Ben White, would I take him onto the plane? Potentially. Would he start? No, because again, hasn't played a lot last season. And then
seems like Timber's just taking his chain.
And then obviously, going by what Tuchel said, if you're not playing enough, you can't get on the plane.
Yeah.
So just going by that. But yeah, I would start Trent, right back, centre back, John Stones, if he's fit, John Stones, and I would partner him with Jared Brandthwaite.
No Mark Gahey.
Ooh.
No Mark Gahey. I think...
Ooh, yeah, that's good. The thing is, the reason why I'm saying that is just because Mark Gahey, he's good. Very good. He's very good. But sometimes when I watch England and I watch them playing out from the back, bear in mind he's right-footed and he's on the left side. Seems a bit shaky. He's still a good defender.
Yeah, because I wouldn't say he's 100% both-footed, but he's very comfortable on his left. Crystal Palace, he does operate as a left centre-back and he can play. And when he started out at Chelsea and first earlier at Crystal Palace, he was playing as a left back.
But I'm just saying it based on how he actually has the ball as well and takes it out from brings it out from the back.
There's this thing with like Pep Guardiola and Arteta, how they have this thing where if you're left-footed, you have to play left centre-back.
Exactly.
If you're right-footed, you have to play right centre-back. And I get it as well. I feel the same as well. I definitely feel the same. So I do understand where you're coming from.
But don't you feel when you watch Mark Gahey playing left centre back, like for me, I think about the Euros last year, 2024. Was it last summer?
He was probably our best centre back, if I'm being honest.
He was good.
Yeah.
But sometimes he had shaky moments. Do you not remember?
I wouldn't say that it was more than 1 or 2 games that he had shaky moments, but that was his first competition being in the big stage. And the Mark Gahey then is not the Mark Gahey now. I think
it's true.
This Mark Gahey has led Crystal Palace to an FA Cup. So was it the FA Cup they won, right?
FA Cup, yeah.
Yeah, the FA Cup that they
And
won.
the Shield as well.
And the Community Shield. Like, there's a lot of maturity that's come with him, which has obviously led a potential move to Liverpool. So I feel like when he does get the call up and he does start, we're going to see a mature version, a bit more experienced version than we did see at the Euros.
So it's the thing about giving him grace from the Euros and like giving him time to...
I just feel pound for pound is the best defender, like actual defender. Like
better than John Stones?
Yeah, but in terms of pound for pound defending, when you come for overall defending, in terms of bringing the ball out of the back and progressing the ball from centre back to midfield, then you want your John Stones, because I think John Stones is more intelligent than Mark Gahey, definitely. Positionally wise, probably better. But in terms of like 1v1, there's a striker going up against Mark Gahey.
You think a striker would fancy going for Mark Gahey or going for John Stones rather than Mark Gahey?
Yeah, I think he can bully John Stones physically more than he can with Mark Gahey.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But that would be my two centre backs.
Yeah.
Then my left back, I'd go for Skelly. As long as he's starting. I think Skelly...
So you're going to have Skelly and Trent playing as right back and left back. That's
Skelly is a top defender. Let's not get it twisted. Top defender.
I think
he has shown vulnerability though. But he's a top defender.
I don't want to say he's a top defender just
okay.
Yet.
He's a good defender.
Do you hear what Arteta said about him in terms of the way he defends? He said Miles Skelly still defends like a midfielder.
Oof.
And still obviously comes into the midfield like a midfielder, which is good for them on the positive side. But when he said he defends like a midfielder,
it's not good.
It's not good. I feel like Skelly is very physical, so he can bully certain defenders. You remember pre-season against him against Kudus?
Yeah.
I was surprised when they asked Skelly who was your hardest opponent, and he mentioned João Pedro. I think that he'll mention Kudus, because what Kudus was doing to him that game.
And as well, I think we got lucky because I think there was a situation where Kudus was the last man with Skelly. And that was not a foul. It wasn't a foul.
It wasn't a foul.
If we're just being honest, I know it's Spurs, but...
Yeah, it wasn't a foul. It wasn't a foul. It wasn't a foul. Yeah, so with Skelly, I feel like I would take Skelly on a plane, but to have Skelly and Trent on the same pitch, both of them coming in, trying to receive the ball, I don't know how that would work.
So would you prefer to start Lewis Hall or would you go with Trippier?
When you just mentioned those names, of course I want to start Skelly, but that's basically, then we'll probably have to do your idea of having the two defensive midfielders covering the space, allowing them to do their thing in midfield. But yeah, that's your vision.
Yeah, it's my vision. I feel like I'm being judged.
No, that's your vision. I just think
I feel like I'm being judged.
You gotta be careful,
anyway.
Man.
But your back four, how would you line up with your back five? Sorry, obviously the goalie as well.
Again, yeah, Pickford, experience. You can trust him as a shot stopper. The right back, I love Trent. I would love to get Trent in, but it depends on who I'm going to select.
Further up the field?
No, who I'm going to select for the back four. So if I'm going to bring Skelly in, I would like to start Reece James or Kieran Trippier at right back, just for a bit more security. So based off everything, I'm going to go with Trent, as right back.
So you... Okay.
Yeah, but you're going to listen. I'm going to shock you and everyone. I want to go with Trent as a right back. I'm going to go with...
You're second guessing now.
I'm thinking about Ezri Konsa. I like him a lot. I really like him.
To start?
Yeah, to start. I really like him. But he hasn't really... This season's been a bit shaky for him. But I don't trust Harry Maguire in the back two. If we're back three, Harry Maguire's
He's the man.
He's the man. But back two, no. So I'm going to go with John Stones. I'm going to go with Mark Gahey. And my left back, I'm going to go with Colwill.
You shocked me.
I
really
want to go with
shocked me.
Colwill.
What?
Because you need... And I'm going to have him disciplined as that left back. So when Trent is coming, inverting it in as a right back, John Stones, Gahey, and Cole will form a back three. Basically what Arsenal do or what City do. And then I can have Colwell. I think he's got the athleticism to overlap as well.
It feels
If
like
we
I'm
need
talking
to.
to Gareth Southgate.
You think so?
Yeah, that's what it feels like. I'm talking to Gareth Southgate. He's telling me his lineup.
Cole was on the play. Well, he's been called up, but I don't think
Definitely.
he's called up to play as a centre back.
Really?
I don't think Chelsea fans even rate him as a centre back. To be fair,
They don't know. He's not been good since he came back from Brighton.
He's not been good since he's come back from Brighton. But if I'm gonna start Trent, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna need a solid left back, a defensive left back. If there's no chance that I'm starting Skelly as a left back and having Trent, and I think Trent's value overpowers Skelly's. So Skelly on the bench, and then I'm gonna go with Colwell just for the defensive.
That surprised me.
Security, yeah. I'm gonna surprise everyone with that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Colwell left back. Fair enough. Just a quick one though. The forgotten man. You won't even remember who it is. Right back. Who could I be speaking about? And is he on the plane?
The forgotten man.
He's forgotten man.
Who? Kyle Walker.
Kyle Walker. Does he not get on the plane? Leadership, quality.
Nah.
Is he not that man anymore?
There's too many right backs and it's not about him not being the man. You've done your dues. Thank you. You've done your probably England's greatest ever right back for now.
Yeah. It's time to move on, isn't it?
It's time to move on. It's just time to move on. Just you don't get on the plane for me. Yeah, you just don't get on the plane. Moving forward, what do you think about the midfield as well? Midfield.
How are we lining up? Is this a 4-2-3-1 or 4-3-3?
I'll say 4-3-3, 4-2-3-1 hybrid in the sense that the third midfielder will be the most attacking one. So think of the Cole Palmer or the Foden or the Bellingham that plays at the 10. And then the two that will be box to box, and then one sitting. Like from what we've seen Declan Rice sitting along with someone, and then you have Skelly or whoever's playing right back inverting. That's what we've seen from him so far. So I think that's what we're really going to be looking at. So I'm looking at it like that. We're going to have 1-6, 1-6/8, and then 1-10.
Okay, so like a perfect balance of everything.
Perfect balance, yeah.
Right. So I think for my midfield, obviously Declan Rice, standard, has to be there. Declan Rice, Bellingham as the 10. And I would probably go with Declan Rice, Bellingham. I feel like it's a hard, because really I would go for Adam Wharton actually. Because as you said before at the beginning of the episode, he is just class. So for me, how I'm starting, Rice, Wharton, and Bellingham number 10. There would need to be a lot of communication between Bellingham and Wharton. Is it right to start Wharton further up and maybe Rice sitting as a 6? What do you think? No.
I just think Rice is a 6. Rice can do a 6, and I think he's someone that's a world-class 6 and a world-class 8. But he's not the greatest at he's finding the pass in between the lines where you want to thread the ball straight to the number 10 or to the wingers that come inside. He can do it. I've seen him do it. I think that's an underrated skill set that he does have, but he's not the best at it. Hence why Arteta has always gone for Jorginho or has gone for Zubimendi or Partey at the 6, and he envisions Declan Rice as more of the box-to-box, the general in the midfield who can contribute defensively and attacking wise. And at first I was against it, but then as we started to see it more and more, I saw the vision, and I just feel like that should be his set position. I mean, whatever role that he gets, I think he should have the freedom to bomb on and have an impact in the final third, as well as contribute defensively. As long as he's able to provide the cover for Adam Wharton, I think.
I understand actually. I think it's a bit similar to, I would compare Declan Rice, not in terms of his quality but his contribution is a bit like Patrick Vieira. You wouldn't start Patrick Vieira at the 6 and say, stay at a 6. You want him to get forward. Yes, he's a defensive midfielder somewhat, but he can contribute a lot going forward. That's kind of how I see it with Declan Rice.
By the way,
There's some
guys,
parallels.
I just want to make this clear. He wasn't saying that
Thank
Declan
you.
Rice and Patrick Vieira are on the same level. Before you guys try to kill him, he's just basically saying stylistically and what he offers.
Thank you.
So let him breathe.
Thank you.
Let
Honestly,
him breathe. Yeah, I had to say that because I know what they'll think.
Disclaimer.
But I definitely agree with you. Like, Patrick Vieira has never been a six. They always call him like a defensive midfielder. He was never a defensive midfielder. He was always sitting alongside someone who would do the dirty work.
Exactly.
Obviously, he'll contribute with his dirty work as well, but he was up and down, always.
Exactly.
Same way with Steven Gerrard. Again, I'm not saying Steven Gerrard and Declan Rice are the same level, but Steven Gerrard can operate as a six. We saw that towards the latter years of his career, and he can go forward. We see that he makes big moments happen. So that's where ideally I see a Rice in that position, and it's that sixth position where I feel like Tuchel is experimenting there. So is it going to be Elliot Anderson? Is it going to be Adam Wharton? Is he going to put Henderson there? I don't know. But Elliot Anderson he's been interesting. He surprised me.
Yeah.
He surprised me, but it's just who we've been going up against.
I was going to say, because I know the last international break, he was wicked. I can't lie to you. He was
wicked.
very good
He was
last
wicked.
international break. I thought, wow.
He was wicked.
But again, like you said, it's who we're playing against. Can he actually do it against the big boys, the Germanys, the Spains, the Frances? Can he replicate those performances? That's the big question, really.
That's the big question.
How would you start in terms of midfield?
So for me, again, I would run Adam Wharton in there, hands down. I think you need Declan Rice in there, hands down. My issue is the Bellingham, the Palmer situation. I think I spoke to you before. You have to get Palmer in there. You absolutely have to get Palmer in a starting lineup. There's no way around it. You can't ignore his quality.
Is there not a way that we can just kind of, going back to what Ian Wright said, obviously, last, you put Saka left back, you Cole Palmer to the right.
I'm not even going to answer that.
You put Skelly on the bench.
Yeah, I'm not even going to answer that.
Gosh, obviously I disagree with that. But are you saying you would actually take Cole Palmer over Bellingham in your 11?
Yeah. If I have to fit them all in, or it's not that I want to do that, it's then what makes sense for everything. We've seen Bellingham at the 10 in the last Euros. We saw, what was it? It was Bellingham, Declan Rice, and who was Declan Rice partnering?
Bellingham, Declan Rice. I can't remember actually.
I can't remember who it was, but he was partnering someone, and Bellingham was the 10. We saw it, and everybody was like, yeah, he can do the 10 position because he was doing it at Real Madrid, and he was scoring lots of goals, so why can't he do so for England? But my problem is, when we saw that, it didn't work because the system that Real Madrid operate in, they operate in such a way that he's not the creator. Do you get me? He's not the one that's making things happen. He's the one that's going to be box crashing. He's the one that's going to be second striker, making runs into the box and scoring the goals basically for Real Madrid. In England, you can't really make that happen if no one's creating for you.
Do you know what? Yeah, I understand. Someone has to be the creator.
Yeah.
And it's almost a bit like, without Cole Palmer, England, well, obviously Saka is there. He's a creative player, but you can't rely on Saka. He already has enough on his plate for Arsenal.
Yeah.
And it's quite obvious, whether it's England or Arsenal, Saka is double team, you've got three people defending Saka or marking Saka. You need more outlets, right?
Yeah, exactly. So I just feel like you need Palmer in there. You need Saka in there. You need Kane in there. You need Declan Rice in there. And I feel on the left...
I feel like you're missing someone.
Who?
Foden? How does he get into the...
Foden's... I'm not missing. He's missing. Yeah, he is missing. I don't know where he is. He's definitely missing. Foden is missing. When you find him, let me know. I don't know where he is. Because the last time I heard of Foden, he was being compared to Saka. He was being compared to Palmer. Where is the comparison now? Who they even compare Saka with now? Salah now, innit? It's now Salah. We've gone to the Salah conversations now. Okay.
So basically, we're saying we can agree that it's Saka, Palmer, then Foden. Or do you think it's hard? It's still a debate between Saka and Palmer.
they don't really play the same position. I know
They don't.
Palmer can play as a left, but he's more of a left that's gonna move into the center, and so I wouldn't want to compare them to. Yeah, I think Saka's in his own league anyway. He's a winger. He's known as a winger, and we say like he's one of the best wingers in the world.
So he's undisputed in terms of
because if anyone has any disputes with what I'm saying, just retract or go back to the previous competition, the Euros. We saw how Bellingham was, and then in the 70th minute or 80th minute, we bring on Cole Palmer, and what does he do? He lights it up. Same way with Saka. Saka was the guy that got us out of jail, and he's done
Switzerland, isn't it?
Switzerland. Oof. He does it so many times. And, okay, we saw that. Bellingham. We can't forget. We have to put Bellingham in. I'm sorry. You saw that goal.
The bicycle kick.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. With Bellingham, he makes magic moments, and that's my issue. So it's like, if we're going to bring Bellingham in, then the only logical thing to do is to put Declan Rice as a 6, Bellingham, Cole Palmer, Saka, Kane, and then whoever you want to put at left wing. But then
this team sounds crazy.
It's too exposed.
Yeah.
It's too exposed.
It sounds too much. It's too chaotic.
It's too chaotic. That's the issue.
Oof.
Someone has to get dropped, and someone has to make that decision.
And so then, do you think that do you now sympathise with what Southgate went through? Because there's this is not an easy team to coach, especially with all the talent on display, the talent that is available to the coach. It's hard to line up.
It's hard, but you've just got to be that guy. Because City, Pep has that problem. Arteta now has that problem.
Yeah.
How do you manage it? And the way football is just about having a good squad as well. So even if you're not starting, just sit on the bench and then you can come on and make an impact. And if that person that's starting is not having a good competition, then he gets replaced halfway through. We shouldn't do this thing where we've seen it with the golden generation, where we had Gerrard playing as a left winger or right winger, Scholes playing as a left winger.
Horrible, isn't it?
Just to fit in Lampard and all of them. It doesn't work. And I feel like they try to do that by putting Saka at left back. No, you need to have a system. You need to make bold decisions. And that's what he needs to do. So again, whoever has the best season right now, Palmer's injured, Bellingham's injured. Halfway through the season, we'll see who makes the most noise. But I feel like if we want to light up the World Cup, Palmer needs to be in the 11. That's what I would say.
Right, so that's very controversial. But onto the front three. I'll give you a breather because you've obviously, So with the right wing, I think really simple. Bukayo Saka, he will start. Striker, again, very simple. Harry Kane, he will start. And he's the captain as well. Unless there's an injury, those two, they will start. Left wing. Who is starting? I even need to think about it.
I know who you're going to say, though.
Who am I going to say?
You're going to say Rashford, don't you?
I think so, yeah. It's hard. I feel like it depends on how he does this season. I do like Anthony Gordon, but I think last year he didn't perform well at all. He was a different Anthony Gordon that we have seen previously in previous seasons. Rashford's had a decent start to the season. Not like the best. He's not really lit it up, but he's had some good performances. Especially against Newcastle. That game against Newcastle in the Champions League was a very good performance there. I think he scored 2 goals. Some would argue Jack Grealish should be in the squad. Should even start. Because again, he's got, I think, 4 assists and 1 goal. So he's got 5 goal contributions this season. Left wing's a very hard position to...
Because no one's really made a statement for that position.
You know, some might say Phil Foden. He should be in that conversation. For me, I'll pick Rashford. I think he's got those moments in him. I think
we forgot about someone, Eze.
Oh.
Even as a 10, even as a left wing option.
Do you know what? Scrap that. Eze starts left wing. Eze starts left wing. Have I forgotten?
Yeah, Eze. But the thing is with Rashford, I get your point with Rashford. I like Rashford. I think Rashford on his day, can't have a conversation with him. If we get that Rashford from now towards when they call up the players, I would love to see a Rashford, Kane, Saka situation.
That'll be very...
all on top form. That's scary.
Terrifying.
That's scary. And then you just play around with the 10.
Yeah. And I think as well, so would you pick Rashford as well? Or
on his day. I like wingers who are traditional wingers. That's my preference. Like traditional wingers that will take on their man, get crosses in. Eze can do it, but he would love to drift inside and get involved in the game. So ideally, I'll prefer Eze as a 10. But yeah.
Yeah, and I think with Rashford as well, I've said obviously Eze, but Rashford, I think he has, I know he's 27 now, 28, but there's still untapped potential with Marcus Rashford. And he's a confidence player. So if you make him, if he plays well and feels good, and you make him feel valued in the team. But that's the thing. You never know what Marcus Rashford you're gonna get.
You never know.
But top player regardless.
You never know. So let's wrap it up for this episode. What are we thinking for the 2026 World Cup? Can England bring it home after our discussion, or are we thinking Spain as our favourites, France are favourites? Quickly, who do you think the favourites are?
Favourites. I think England are obviously always going to be up there. I think England are probably second favourites after, I'd say, Spain. I think Spain they're the kings right now. England second, France third. But obviously you've got to wait till December for the World Cup draw. So I think obviously when we get the World Cup draw, we'll be back again to do our predictions, and we'll have a bracket.
Yeah.
And we'll let you guys know what we think. So
Brian, you want to wrap it up for us?
Guys, obviously thank you again for watching. And remember, while we were here, it's because of
football.
Thank you.